Hello there, my name's Phil from Totally Smart Homes. What I'm going to do today is I just thought I'd do a short video for you just so you can see basically what one of these bad boys is all about. And basically this is a 27U rack, so we use this to populate AV equipment for sites where generally where the new construction's been happening and we've put in heating control, lighting control, AV equipment that needs to be controlled from a central rack, so it gives you a much cleaner finish. So I'm just going to strip this open and give you a bit of a tour inside so you can see what's inside one of these. Yep, so as you can see, this is a Sanus rack. It's got a lovely door on it, really nice hinge. They use Sanus all the time. It's got some little hinge bars here, so these allow you to pull this down and take the door off. So we can do this whilst working on the cabinet. And then put this to one side. So it gives us a full working of the rack. Now as you can see in here, because it's an AV rack, not a comms rack, this is designed, it's got AV shelves in it, so this is a pre-populated rack, comes with spacer bars here, here and here, different U shapes. So U shaping, if you're not aware, is each one of these is classed as one U. So if you're having 2U spacing for something like a switch or a router or a power distribution unit or a power management in uninterrupted power supply, then that could take 2 U's at the bottom. So that's what U spacing is, but this one, as you can see, has the U spacing marked here, so we've got 27 up to here, which denotes that it's a 27U rack. With these, if you've ever used racks before, you'll notice that a lot of them come with a little square indents that pull into them called cab nuts, and those cab nuts clip in and then you can screw the screw into it. Cab nuts are a very good idea because if you get cross-threaded screws whilst you're putting in and out components, then obviously you can just pop the cab nut out and put a new one in. With the Sanus racks, they don't have that. They have these ready to screw straight into, so if you do cross thread one of these, then obviously you have to then re-tap it, which is a lot more difficult. However, generally speaking, if you lay the rack out properly and you have the spacings put in properly where you want to have the rack laid out, then if people want to add to their or clients want to add to their racks, their AV systems, more amplifiers generally the thing. If you've got cables already running in ceilings for speakers and you want to add a new amplifier, they're usually done down at the bottom part along here, so we leave quite an adequate spacing, which you'll see if you stick on the channel and come back and see the actual rack build once this is fully built. You'll see that we leave component spaces a lot further down for that, so they can be slid out and then just slide a new rack in. But yeah, so that is one of the key differences here. It's not just on Sanus, Chief do them, a lot of the other racks do them as well, but this is one of the key differences. These are a thread in here, I think it's about 4mm, 5mm thread, and so they don't have the cab nut holes, they have to go straight in onto that. So walking around the side of the cabinet, I'm going to take you in and show you some more footage in a minute. You've got fully open top to floor doors, so these come off. They're not lockable, they do have a lockable insert in here, so that can take it in and you can pop this out, and in here you can put a key lock if you want to lock the cabinet. Generally with the installs that I do, it's in a residential property which is in the house, so you're not going to really need that. But you get 2 of those. So we've got another one this side, exactly the same thing, full size door, comes up, it's got the Sanus logo imprinted in here quite nicely, embossed into the rack itself, the rack door. So we've got all the shelves here. You've got just at the bottom one feature here, you've got at the bottom of this, if you look, you've got the wheels on here, really nice sturdy casters to allow you to move it through, and then you've also got these which are standing feet to stop it basically moving. So once it's in place at the client's house, we can put those in place and it stops the rack really being moved out, but then they can be wound up and then pulled forward when we want to work on the back of the rack or do any servicing or maintenance on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring you in a bit closer, and we're going to do some inside sort of closeness of the rack so you can see what's going on inside there. One other thing I want to show you is basically in these racks you get a packet, and in here there's not much. You get an instruction manual, but you also get these Velcro ties. These Velcro ties are very handy. I don't use these for cabling. We have some smaller Velcro ties that we use that to keep the actual cables in place. But what these are designed for is to hold certain components on shelves. So if you have a shelf with something like a Skybox or a BT Vision box or something like that, that doesn't come with something what we call rack ears. Rack ears are when you've got a rackable component like a switch or something like that. They'll come with little ears that attach onto the side of the switch and allow you to actually mount it onto these holes. So if you're using a shelf, you use one of these straps that Sanus provide with it to actually wrap around the component that's sitting inside. They also come with these. These are sort of backstops. I call them backstops, but they go into the rack and then they slide in and turn, and that again will stop anything sliding towards the back of the rack this way. Okay, so these are all within the packaging that comes with it. You get quite a few in there. Don't think I've ever had to buy extras to put in there. But they're really good. They're really handy to use to stop the components sliding back. Not that we encourage clients to come in and touch any of the components on here. For resetting, we put power management in there for them, so that can be done from the touch screens and iPads and iPhones. But it just gives it a nice look on the rack so that all the components sit nice in front to the front of the rack. You get the instruction manuals in there, and then you do get one set of keys, and that's purely for the front rack door, has a lock on it, and also around the back of the rack we have a lock on the back here, and if we open that again, this rack can come down and shows us access to the back of the rack. Now there is another thing on here. If you look on this rack, you'll see there's a divider at the bottom here, which is predominantly used for airflow. This can come off, and we're going to move this. This will actually come up to the top here, so we can use this as an air bar and put the management strip in here, which is a bit like an envelope, which allows us to feed all the cables out and then go through our braiding to come up to the patch panel on the rack as well. So this is going to move up, and we're going to take that out. It comes with some bars in here. These bars are lacing bars, so these bars will allow us to keep the cable nicely managed across here. We can move those up and down. Again, we've got the same layout on the back here with the 4mm hole spacing, so we can put the screws in here to move these lacing bars up. But as I say, we're going to be doing a full rack video with this, so you can see everything laid out for the rack completely once it's done. Well, thank you guys. I hope this has been an interesting video. You know, I've tried to show you the layouts of the rack as best as I can, done some filming for you. You know, if there's any questions that you want to ask me about these racks, feel free to. I've used them for probably near on 4 to 5 years now, for doing the custom installations. But yeah, if you've got any comments, put the comments in the put the comments below, and you know, let's feed the channel. Like, subscribe, that's what we're after. If you want to see some more sort of footage like this, then you know, just just let me know. Put some stuff in the comments, and I can add some more bits about AV racks and what we do with them. But until next time, look out for the next video, which is going to be us populating this rack and putting all the components in it ready for a custom install for a client.